G'day, Nick here, Animal Engineering. Welcome back to the channel. For you new guys that are just coming through, maybe because of this little Corolla project we're doing some door panels on, consider hitting the subscribe button. We've got some pretty cool projects going on at the moment. Sort of doing this Corolla here, the 1960 International Metro there. We're doing a bit of a build series on that. Got the yellow SS Commodore back there's a donor car for that one. We're turning that into a mobile bar, so that'll be pretty cool. Got the old RX-8 here. So yeah, we've done a bit of a build series on that one too. There's a couple more to come on that. And then yeah, another project we've got coming up, starting very soon. This weapon. So basically, going to be turning that into a drift car. So yeah, if you want to see any videos on those projects, hit the subscribe button and yeah, you better keep up to date. So we've got here is a KE70 Corolla. It's one of my mates, Craig's car. It's going to be running a methanol LS. It's already been tubbed in the RSN. You can see the tyres are all tucked back there. So basically what I'm going to be going through is just doing some new door panels for it, some little trim pieces and a rear firewall. So basically you have the methanol tank in the back there. You got to have that separated from the cab. So we'll do a nice bead rolled panel in the back there. So yeah, basic plan is we're going to do some nice simple door cards. They're going to get painted. So just going for nice, clean, tasteful, simple door cards. Yeah, we're going to do the four door panels, cover panel for the bead pillar here. There's a little kick panel to do down there, little corner panel up here, and then obviously that rear firewall so we can separate the fuel from the cabin. Yeah, we'll rip these off and we'll make some templates up. The door cards we're going to be making will come up to this sort of belt line here. It won't go up over the top like the factory ones. That'll will get painted, match the car and the door cards. So it's going to come up to this line, so I'll make a little mark on the door on both ends, and then I'll put the door cards back on and we'll mark on the door cards where that is. So when we make our template, we can just do a straight line across that. So yeah, I am anticipating these B-pillar panels to be a little bit tricky to make. There's a bit of a whoop-de bend here, so it sort of comes up flat and then bends over. But I think if I can get the shape right to start with before I go to the bead roller, then as I go for the bead roller, I should be able to manipulate it to keep that bend in there. So we'll see how we go with that, but it shouldn't be too bad. Alright, we've got them over to the bench here, so basically I've just been through taking all the little plastic clips off the back of them, just so I can get it to sit nice and flat on the card. So the medium I'm using here is Ram board, so you get it from Bunnings here in Australia, probably lots of other shops. Some sort of Home Depot plate shop like that in America I suppose would have it. So yeah, basically we'll just, these marks that I got from the door, we'll line them up with the edge of the card here and we'll trace the door panels. They are now rubbish. Yeah, that's our two pieces done. Just get a hot glue gun and glue them in. Job's done. Haha. Do a couple of different designs on here and then we'll send it off for the tick of approval and then we'll transfer it over to some steel. This workbench is awesome, but they just made that a lot harder than it needed to be. Holy dooly, every time I went over a hole or a bump, it took off of me. Crazy. So one thing when you're marking it out with this, so obviously we're going for a nice 40mm border the whole way around, is you want to keep it sort of perpendicular, square to the curve. Because if you just come down like that, and around, if as you're coming around it's sort of going like that, your 40mm can creep into 30 on you, and yeah, you just got to be pretty careful with that. Alright, so now I've got the window winders marked out, I've got the holes for the door latch marked out, and I've got that 40mm border the whole way around. So now I'll probably Just throw her into a bit of a time lapse while I try and nut out the design. Kind of loosely got something in my head, but yeah, we'll get it down on the old paper and mark her out. Well, there you go, that's a bit of a layout there. We'll need to fine tune this area. I'll bring that a bit closer when we go to the actual panel. Might try and bring this up a little bit more into this area here. Sort of a lot of dead space there, or try and maybe bring that down, but for the time being, this should be good enough to send through to Craig and see what he reckons. So basically, all these outside ones will be stepped up, and then these lines here are just straight beads in the panel. Fairly simple, fairly clean. So yeah, we'll take some photos of him and see if he tells me to get stuffed or not. Hopefully he doesn't. Right, we'll hear back from old Craig. He's very happy with the overall design and the layout that I've got there, which is good. I don't have to redo anything. Bonus. So one thing I have done is I've extended this line up, so I've made this bead through here 40mm as well. So this one's 40mm, the outside's 40mm, that's now 40mm. I don't really know why I didn't do that before. I was trying to get it to come into the centre of this square, and you can see me rectangle there around the door opener. It's going to be sort of teardropped off this ray section now, which is also going to look a hell of a lot better than having it coming into the centre there. So yeah, I've got that all transferred over to the steel now. We'll mark it up and we'll hit the bead roller. Rightio, well I've been at that for about 3 hours now. I've got all 4 panels marked up. I've made some changes to the design, as you can sort of see, between the cardboard one and the steel. I'm pretty happy with how that's looking. I've just been playing around with the bead roller, and you can see there sort of beads that will be in the top section there. So we'll go through and we'll hammer that out on all 4. We'll do those beads first, and then we'll switch over to the step dies and we'll do the borders. I've just been smashing into it off camera. I've got a template of the rear firewall all done up there. You can see I'm just sort of going for the standard 3 triangle deal, nice and simple. Yeah, so there's 3 on that front side and 3 up the top there. So we'll transfer that over to some steel, mark her out, bead her up, chuck her in. There you have it, that's one rear firewall marked out. Nice simple design, classic really. Should look pretty Mickey Mouse looking through the back window there, all nice and clean, tidy, nice little triangles, should be good. Alright, well we got there in the end. I don't know if you sort of pick up on that. If you rewind it back on the time lapse about halfway through there, the throat on the machine just wouldn't accept my piece. So I had to swap the dies over and then run it the opposite direction, which effectively kind of doubles the throat length of your machine. You run the risk of starting again in the wrong spot and not lining back up because you're not doing one continuous loop. It's a bit of a mission, but we got there. So yeah, we'll smash a bend in it and chuck her in the car. Alright, well that's fitting in there pretty good. Pretty happy with how that's turned up. It's a nice simple design, not too over the top. So yeah, now we'll just move on to making these trim pieces. And it should be basically done. Alright, well that's the B pillar template made up. This back C pillar template's all made up. You'll see there I just used multiple little pieces and tape them together. It's a lot easier doing it that way than trying to battle a whole piece and cut it and fluff around. So yeah, just using a few different little pieces, it makes it a hell of a lot more manageable. So I'll just go through and verify that this template's going to work on the driver's side. In theory it should be the same, but I'll double check that, and then we'll transfer this over to some steel. We'll cut that out, put a very basic, same as this, just a very basic pattern in here and on the B pillar. For the most part, there's the old seatbelt bolt back here. I'll probably utilise that, I think, to hold the panel at the back, and the front side here we'll just use the factory, the door rubbers. Same with the B pillar. I'll use the 2 seatbelt points to hold that on, and then the rubbers will basically do the rest. So we'll swap that over to some steel, cut her out, chuck up the beads in it. Holy riv nuts, Batman! Well, there's close to 60 riv nuts in all 4 doors. Basically, all I done was I went through all the holes that the normal plastic clips went into. Thought it's easy to mark out off the door cards. It's all in there, the holes are already there. Just had to open them up just a very, very small amount to actually get the riv nut in there. So we are getting very close to wrapping this thing up. Let's see. See how that B pillar in the other side? Got the corner pieces all made up. So it's pretty much final assembly, really. Alrighty, well that probably took a little bit longer than I was actually expecting it to, but there you have it. One KE70 Corolla bead rolled interior. Look in the business. So yeah, we'll smash that in the car. Tell Craig to come and get it. There you go, that's the KE70 Corolla, bead rolled door panels and other interior pieces, firewall and such. Done and finished. Pretty happy with how it's come up, to be honest. I've always wanted to make a set of door panels. I was going to make some up for the RX-8, but never got around to it because I just had factory ones sitting there, but pretty happy. So yeah, we'll have a bit of a look. I'm actually pretty happy with how these B pillars came out. There's a couple little curves in there, pretty subtle, but they turned out pretty good, I reckon. Yeah, firewall. Yeah, that came up good too. Happy with that, nice and simple. Yeah, so if you've enjoyed watching this process, marking these out and making them, so yeah, we'll leave it there for this episode. Cheers for watching.